Hello, everybody. I'm Salwa Bitar, and I'm bringing to you a story and testimony from the Palestinian territory. Narjas, the mother of 8-year-old Muhammad, was called urgently from his school because he was suffering from severe abdominal pain and vomiting. She rushed him to the nearest emergency room at a Ministry of Health hospital, where he was attended to by a doctor and a nurse. The doctor asked Narjas about the chief complaints. He allowed her the 2 seconds to mention vomiting, abdominal pain. He immediately started examining Muhammad and giving orders to the nurse to do some lab tests and to prepare him for a laparoscopy and an operation. Narjas was really scared and frustrated. She was frustrated because she did not want her son to be subject to any invasive procedure. And she was scared of operating needlessly on her son. But at the same time, she was so intimidated she could not share what happened to her son 2 years ago. So here she is, 2 years after a first incident, very similar incident that happened to her son, trying to tell this doctor what happened to help her son, but he's not listening. Her love and fear to her child pushed her to speak. She spoke shyly. Doctor, I just like to mention that 2 years ago, my son had a similar incident where he was diagnosed as acute pancreatitis. He was hospitalized, and at the time, doctors were about to operate on my son because his lab tests were not conclusive, his exam was not giving them clues, so they almost operated on him. But on the second day, my son started to improve, and they kept him on conservative treatment, and he was discharged healthy without an operation. So she requested him very politely to reconsider his management plan and to delay the laparoscopy or operation and to observe. He dismissed her. He said, acute pancreatitis is very rare. It won't happen to him twice, and unless we do laparoscopy and decide on the surgery, we might lose your son. She was really scared. She pushed back her tears, not to scare her son, but deep inside, she was really terrified. Luckily, a more senior doctor passed by. He noticed the stress on her face. He examined Muhammad and decided to transfer him to a more specialized surgery center because he was concerned of complications if they operate on him right then in that hospital. So Muhammad was transferred to Ramallah Medical Complex, which is a hospital where IntraHealth has revised the training curricula for the surgery residents. So the revision included standardization, best practices, evidence-based, clinical competency. I think the health word knows this word very well. But most importantly, we focused on revising and strengthening the non-clinical competences, which were not there before. And what we mean by this is listening, doctors, providers listening, and focusing on medical ethics for each case and communicating properly with each patient or his family. So Muhammad was met by Dr. Youssef, a third-year resident trained by our IntraHealth program. Dr. Youssef introduced himself properly, asked Narjas for a full history of the condition, allowed her to talk, listened to her, and then he ordered proper lab tests and examined Muhammad very carefully from top to toe. He immediately called his professor for a second opinion because he felt that this case might be serious, and unless they do the right thing, they might lose Muhammad. So the professor came, and together they developed a management plan based on history, based on listening, And they decided to observe Muhammad carefully and frequently so that they don't subject him needlessly to an operation or ignore something important that might affect him negatively. In 2 days, Muhammad started to improve, and he was discharged on the 4th day, healthy and happy, with no laparoscopy and no operation. Muhammad is one of many cases where IntraHealth's intervention to revise the training and revise the curricula is not only standardizing care and improving quality of care, but truly it's saving many lives in Palestine. Thank you very much.